Greetings, everyone. This is Rashaki Maskani of the Community Education Network. We started a podcast series called Born and Raised in Compton. And I just started the other day. And, I reached out to a whole bunch of people that I grew up with or family members and asked them if they, I invited them to see if they wanted to come on and talk about their experiences in Compton. And so one of my basketball buddies, longtime basketball buddy, played on teams together, won a few championships, played against each other, just having that fun with basketball. But I think I met Chris. This is brother Chris. I think I met him, many years ago.
About 34 to be exact.
What's that?
About 34 years ago.
Oh, well, you know better than me.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago, and he's been around a long time in Compton, and doing what he do and doing what Compton people do. We've been enjoying ourselves for years in the city. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it over to brother Chris, let him talk about his experience with Compton, because we want people to know about Compton from the people who actually grew up there and lived there for years. And we always get these negative stereotypes, but we got a lot of good coming out of Compton.
No doubt.
So what's good in the hood, Chris?
All good, baby. Hub City love, baby. Hub City. Yeah, man. Just to let everybody know about me, man. My name is Chris Francis, man. I actually I moved to California. I'm originally from Lake Charles, Louisiana, but I've been living in Compton, California for the last 35 years. I moved here when I was 20. November 28, 1990. That's my California birthday. I went to Compton College, and I played basketball at a few other universities. Played basketball abroad. Played in Taiwan. Played in China. Played in Canada. Played in Mexico, and came back home to Compton and got into coaching. Been a high school coach for the last 25 years, man. So a lot of life lessons in Compton, man. I was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana, but I was raised in Compton, California. So I always like to tell people I became a man in Compton, man. And again, there's a lot of negative stereotypes about the city, but I love the city, man, and it's been good to me, man. Like I said, I graduated from Compton College and started coaching at King Drew High School back in 2000. Then I coached at Compton Centennial, where actually me and Brother Rasta, we worked together. I was the coach there. I think you were coaching algebra. I mean, you were teaching algebra when I was there, and just all around good experience in Compton, man. A lot of friends, a lot of family, and just a lot of good times, man. A lot of love in Compton, man. Compton reminds me of Lake Charles in the sense of it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know, man. It's like a small community of people who genuinely care about each other. We have our fair share of different instances like any other city do, but for the most part, man, Compton is home, is love, and it's a great place to be.
I know you got more than that.
Yeah, I got a little bit more than that, man.
Yeah. Now, let me see. Yeah, you said it kind of where you became a man. What valuable lessons in manhood did you learn in Compton?
Well, I learned about having integrity. I learned about being honest. I learned about morals and about being loyal, man. It's a lot of loyal brothers in Compton, man. When I actually the first place I ever lived in Compton was on Almond Street, 957 Almond, man. I moved in with the Wynn family, my bros, my California bros, Sharon, Big Mac, and Meter, man. They took me in, and they treated me like family, grandmom, and Uncle Randall, Uncle Jerry, Uncle T.Y. It's like real family oriented, and it was just a lot of love, man. I didn't really know the streets of Compton like that. So, I was taught the streets, how to move, how to maneuver in Compton, the right way. There's all kind of elements out there, but it's a lot of positivity, and I learned that when I first moved here. I got to a point to where I even started my own little clothing brand, Compton Ballers. So a lot of people see it around town, and it's just my same thing with my clothing brand. It's about love, and it's about loyalty. I believe in loyalty, and I believe in just being down with the people who down with you, so to speak.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So now you want to talk about some of your accomplishments, you want to go into some of your coaching and
Okay, I can do that definitely. I actually, man, if I'm gonna keep it real on here, we're keeping it Compton. I gotta give your major props to the person who actually started my coaching career. It's a gentleman by the name of Marvin Hunt. I used to play ball overseas, and he would let me work out at Wilson Park. And in the mornings, we had a little deal. I would get there early and kind of mess with the kids for him, and then he would let me work out later on at night, things of that nature. And one day, a coach didn't show up, so he asked me. My nickname in Compton is POD. Everybody know that. And POD stands for pissed off dude. Uh, it's a moniker I got playing basketball. I play with a lot of passion. I call myself a passionate old dude now. I used to be pissed off. Now I'm passionate. But we were working out at Wilson Park, and one day a coach didn't show up, and he was like, "Hey, PO, man, I need you to coach his kids team." I'm like, "Man, I don't want to coach, man. I ain't interested in coaching nobody else's kids, man." And he was like, "Well, I'll buy you a 12-pack." And I'm like, "Shit, bet, I'll take it." So he ended up buying me the 12-pack. It's a true story. You can ask Marv. He bought me the 12-pack, and I ended up falling in love with coaching, man. I still remember my first team. I coached the Gym Rats in Compton. So I had fun with that, finished out the year. Then I met a gentleman by the name of Rock Johnson. Rudolph Johnson. He has the ICANN Foundation, and he started the AAU team, and he asked me to coach the AAU team. So I ended up getting into coaching AAU, and we had some success. And one of the kids I coached, mother was the athletic director at King Drew High School. So she asked me, would I be interested in coaching high school basketball? And I was like, if I can run my own plays. I just wanted to run my own plays. I didn't care about nothing else. So she's like, yeah, you got to run your own plays and get your coaching schedule, things that a head coach is tasked with. So I ended up taking a job at King Drew High School, and let's just say the start to my coaching career wasn't a good one. My first game ever was against LA Jordan, lost to them by 50 on a Monday, and then on a Thursday I played Locke High School and lost to them by like 60. So obviously I'm not a loser. I was very depressed. I go back to Wilson Park. That was home base for me for years. I played a lot of ball at Wilson Park, won a lot of championships, won a lot of MVPs. Got my basketball reputation at Wilson Park. So that was home base for me. So I go back there, and Marv was like, man, I had a team full of seniors. This is my first year. Again, really wasn't experienced in the coaching in that aspect. So I just got rid of all my seniors and that wasn't serious and dedicated to basketball, and invested in ninth and 10th graders. And that was in 2000. And in 2003, ended up winning the CIF championship at King Drew. And then in 2004, we ran it back and won another one. So my career got off to a good start when it came to coaching. So, but I still wasn't getting the respect from the teachers and the administrators on campus because I was considered a walk-on coach. And that was because I had only got my AA degree from Compton College. I didn't finish up my undergrad stuff because I was chasing the ball. I always tell people when I first went to college, I didn't go to college to get a degree. I went to college to go to the NBA like everybody else did. So I stayed on at King Drew till 2007. And then I ended up leaving, and I went to Compton Centennial. I went to the 10, man, for a year. So me and you got out for a minute. After that, I only stayed there for a year. Then I went to Compton College, where I played at. I was assistant coach there for a year. Then I decided to go back to school. So I went back to Cal State Dominguez Hills, got my undergrad, and then I ended up getting a coaching job at Millikan High School in Long Beach. While I was at Millikan, I had a friend of mine who's one of the top coaches in the state of California, JUCO coach, one of the top 3 all time in wins. His name is Ed Maddock. He was coaching at Fresno City at the time. He was like, man, you're a brother, man. You don't look your age. You need to go back and get your master's degree. So he talked me into it. I went back, and then in 2013, I received my master's degree. So those are some major accomplishments for me. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college to get a master's degree, and I owe a lot of that to my California, as I say, my California upbringing. So after that, I had some success at Millikan. I was the first Black basketball coach at Millikan, and then I ended up leaving Millikan, and I got into coaching, and that's when the travel ball thing was really a big thing. So I coached for one of the top travel ball organizations in the country called West Coast Elite. I was able to coach some great players there, a lot of NBA players. A blessing to coach those guys, and then the pandemic hit, so everybody was kind of shut down. When I coached at Millikan, I became friends with one of the principals. Her name is Keisha Irvin, and she became the principal at Long Beach Jordan. Also knew the athletic director. He's a Compton native. Name is Lamar Biffle. Shout out to Biff. He's the athletic director at Long Beach Jordan. So he told me that the job would be opening and would I be interested in applying. And so I applied, and this is where I'm at now. My first year during the pandemic, we was having some success. Then we had a major COVID outbreak, so they ended up shutting down the Moore League for a second. And when they brought it back, we never won another game for the rest of the year. So then the following year, we kind of retooled. I was changing the culture at Jordan. The year before I was there, they didn't win a game. So the second year at Jordan, we had an amazing run. We ended up winning the Moore League, and we ended up winning the CIF Championship, which is in 2023. I was also able to teach at Long Beach Jordan. I taught SSI, which is the Student Success Initiative, Rising Leaders. We dealt with kids that had bad attendance, bad attitudes, and bad grades. So it was kind of right up my alley because prior to getting into coaching, I was working at a level 12 lockdown facility, boys home in San Pedro, California, called South Bay Bright Future. So it kind of worked hand in hand with some of the kind of kids I was dealing with. Not as severe as they were at South Bay Bright Future, but dealing with kids who just needed more guidance than others. So been there. This will be my 5th year, man. I love it, man. It's always fun going up against Compton High in the Moore League. With me being a Compton cat, all my Compton bros, they love them babes. Babes don't love nobody. It's fun. It's been a great experience. It's been a great ride, man. Just a lot of brothers I met throughout the years with this basketball thing, man. Guys like Tran B. Sawyer, guys like Danny Frazier, old school guys, Jose Slaughter. It's a lot of old school original Compton guys who really looked out for me and guided me, and I got a lot to do with where I'm at today, and I always have love for them, man. Always have love for them.
Yeah, a few things, man. What I could say from knowing you all these years that you definitely persevere and you're a winner.
Thank you.
I know that about you. Also, we have a few similarities. Wilson Park, that was my home base park when I was a kid. And I played ball out of Wilson Park. That was my park out of all the parks in Compton. We used to play against Gonzalez, Looters. So that's my part. Then also when I was coaching, man, I coached throughout the years just sparingly. Coached on the high school level, coached youth. And I had one of the greatest moments of my life coaching kids. And it just was a beautiful thing. And I could see where a person can really get a lot out of interacting with kids and being successful, because the coaching experience I had, this one coaching experience I had, the kids just I worked with them, just worked with them. And then we formulated a team. And then our last game of the season, I called a timeout. We was down by 1 point, I think. Called a timeout, drew up a play, and those kids just they ran it to a T, and we won the game. That was one of the, that feeling was, just I can't explain it, but it's really a good thing when you able to teach kids something and just see the fruits of your labor. And it's a real good thing. And then one thing about Jordan High School, when I was in high school, I played my whole 3 years at Compton High, and we played against Jordan those 3 years. I never lost to Jordan. We scored 100 points on Jordan. But the flip side of that, it was never beat Poly.
Wow.
Long Beach Poly.
Wow.
In the time, twice we had a chance to beat Poly. And fate is something else. We were in a summer league game at Compton High, and Poly, we playing against Poly. And we rocking their world.
Yeah.
Coach, Coach Palmer.
Of course, legendary Coach Palmer.
Ron Palmer. He coached. Yes. I played a year under him.
I coached against him for a few years. I was fortunate enough to coach against him 1 year, I should say. My apologies.
Okay, well, he's definitely an excellent coach, but over at Long Beach State, he had a little trouble over there.
Yeah.
Dealing with the politics and all of that.
Definitely.
But he was an excellent coach. I could say that because I learned some things from him. I really did in that 1 year. But we had Poly beat in the summer league game, and he said the refs was cheating. So he took the team and walked out. That was my chance to beat Poly.
Wow.
Matter of fact, 3 times. My sophomore year, we was playing them at Compton High. And this is the year they took CIF championship. That was the year before they started state. That was 1981.
Okay.
We were basically winning the game at the end of the game. And they had this dude named Apple. I think his name Dwayne Washington. I forget his real name. He ripped our point guard twice. And we lost that game because of that. And we had a chance to win that game. And then my senior year, it was like me playing against, a whole team. But we had some pretty decent players, but we were just outmanned. They had Chris Sandel.
Yeah, Chris. I used to play against him at the Rec back in Long Beach.
Yeah, God rest his soul. Chris Sandel. And who else they had? Terry Stallworth. You talking about some, they like, Chris Sandel like men amongst boys. He was
without a doubt.
So we playing against them. I was sick, so I stayed home from school. And I tried to cut my hair. I messed my hair up, so I had to go skee ball. Back then we didn't go skee ball.
Yeah.
So we playing against them. I mean, the gym was rowdy. It was just the band. It was like hype. And man, it looked like I turned into Dr. J that night. Flying through the air. We had them, I think the game was tied at halftime. It was real close at halftime. And I think we had enough momentum, and the way I was playing out of my mind. We had a great chance of beating them that night. And this team took state championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in 1983. They didn't take it in 83. They took it the next year, but they were really good.
Uh-huh.
And man, did you know, we talking about fate. It was a rainstorm, and the rainstorm knocked out all the power.
Wow.
And so we couldn't even we couldn't finish the game, man. And they were in the gym, partying and all of
Yeah,
that. We
yeah,
couldn't even finish the game. So we finished the game at the end of the week. All the momentum was gone.
yeah,
And they just had their way with us. And I was like,
yeah.
dang, man. As soon as I could have beat Polly, man. But you know what? I did beat Polly. I was coaching when I first started teaching, I started teaching in 96, 97 year.
Mm.
I think it was like 98 year or 90 something. But we had a good group I coached in the girls program. We had a good group of young girls and we beat Polly. And I
Okay.
was coaching my behind off because I was assistant coach, but at the end of the games, I used to take over because I had the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, yeah, like I always say, never lost to Jordan, never beat Polly.
Well, I'll give you my experiences with those two. Since I've been at Jordan, I've never lost to Compton. And
Oh man.
and
So it just turned around, didn't
definitely turned, and we definitely been putting up 100 on them too. You can definitely believe that. And also, man, I was fortunate enough to be Poly. I have 3 wins against Poly in my career, and which means that you ain't beat them that much if you can remember how many times you beat them. It ain't no rivalry; it's a beatdown. So nothing but respect to Poly, man. You know they the cream of the crop. You know they the bar in the Moore League, and I always give them their props. But when I was at Milliken, I beat them once, and a few years ago we swept them in the Moore League. But I just it's just a testament, to the work that they put in, the longevity. They haven't been doing this for
man.
5 years. They've been doing this for damn near 30, 40 years. So, it's a shout out to them. But I come to play every game, and I like my chances in every game that we play against anybody and everybody, man. And I just wanted to to add that I learned the game of basketball in Compton, man. And Wilson Park was my home base, but I've had my battles up at Looters, and I've had my battles up at Gonzalez as well. But I just feel like basketball in Compton, it doesn't get the true, the true love that it gets. I mean, from guys my age to guys that I've coached against. I can name so many different people from. We can go to every high school and we can name, legendary guys, and I'm not talking
Man.
about the
Let me
Demars. I'm not talking about the guys who made it. I'm talking about the guys who didn't. It's a lot of guys out there, man, that that's molding the game of basketball in Compton, man. I know Compton got a lot of cats, and not just in the NBA, but playing abroad too. And it's just a testament to where it's nothing, man. When you're talking about sports, you're talking about entertainment. Compton has always been rich in it, and hell, one of the main reasons why I moved to Compton, I wanted to be a rapper when I first moved to California. I'm 20 years old. You know, uh, I actually was in Long Beach at first, and Jason Carmichael, shout out to J-Bo Carmichael, he brought me to Compton, and I've been here ever since, man. So just to tell you a funny story about it, man, I actually moved to California with $9, man, on November 28, 1990. It's my California birthday. I had never heard of Long Beach, California in my life. But I heard of Compton. Like I said, I wanted to be a rapper. And when I first moved here, my brother was in the Navy, and my brother was like, man, Compton is like 3 hours from Long Beach, man. I can't get you out there. And I'm like, I was like, dang. So ironically, one day I'm playing ball at this gym in Long Beach. It's called The Rec. It's on Martin Luther King and PCH. And funny thing, Jay, so when I first walked in there, they had picked teams. So I got picked. And the score was like 2-3 or something like that. So Jason Carmichael walks in the gym. They stopped the game, repicked the teams, and since then nobody know me, I got put off the team. So I'm pissed. I'm like, as soon as I get in there, I'm going at this big light skinned. He had a Jerry curl back then, man. So I said, I'm going at him. So I get on the next game, man. We end up going at it, man. I end up losing, but they picked me up because we was going at it out. He can play. So after the game, J-Bo had on a green Compton College practice jersey. So ironic, I remember those like yesterday because when I finally got to Compton College, those were for the guys that you were like, they call it gray shirt now. But and J-Bo had his on because he forgot his jersey at practice, so coach just gave him one of those, you know, teaching him a lesson. But so J-Bo, he said, man, you should go to Compton College. I'm like, man, I ain't got no car, man. You know, I can't get to Compton, man. You know, it's like 3 hours away from here. He's like, what? He said, you better get on that 51 or that 52 or that 60 or that 61. Those are the buses. Back then it was the RTD. And I got on the bus to Compton, man, and met Coach Lee Porter, the legendary Coach Lee Porter. And he was like, I said, how you doing, sir? My name is Chris Francis. You know, I came here to Jason Carmichael sent me here. He was like, J-Bo sent you here? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, yes, sir. He's like, boy, where you from? I said, I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana, sir. He said, yeah, you got to be from Louisiana with all that surf shit. You know, I'm like, yeah, so yes, sir, right? So he like, what size shoe you wear? You know, I wear 15s. He gave me a pair of shoes. He gave me a $100 bill. He never saw me hold a basketball in my hand. And that's what I mean by your word. You know, as far as he was concerned, I told him the right name. I told him Jason Carmichael. And that was on a Friday. He asked me for my social security number and my full name and all that stuff. On that Friday, I rode the bus with the team. They played East LA that night. They had a gentleman on the team by the name of Steve Logan, Lobo. Lobo was about 6 feet tall, man, and he was leading the nation in scoring. I'm like, that little dude? I'm like, if he can do it, I know I'm going to be killing over here, right? And I watched that boy Lobo play, man, and still to this day, man, he's in my top 5 greatest basketball players I ever saw in person, man. He had a pump fake to where he had people in the stands jumping at his pump fake, man. He still got it to this day, as you know. He playing the 50 and over, man. But I watched him go for like 48 that night. And that Monday when I got back to school, I was in 12 units. I was a full-time student, and the man still had never seen me hold a basketball in my hand. So my first day of practice, I stunk it up, man, and everybody was laughing at me. I had on some low-top ponies, some cut-off short pants, sweats, and a T-shirt on, right? And they was like, look at this country. My nickname was Country when I first moved out here, right? So Coach Porter was like, I don't know what you did in front of J-Bo, but whatever you did in front of J-Bo, you better do it tomorrow. I want my shoes and my money back. And I had already spent this money. You already know the 100 was gone, man. So the next day, man, that Tuesday, man, I went to practice and I just did me. You know, I played hard. You know, I always could jump a little bit. You know, I got a couple of bang outs, played defense, and after practice, I said, how did I do, sir? He's like, man, look, you know, knock it off with the surf shit, man. My name Coach, man. So I was like, yes, sir. It's just a habit, you know, being in Louisiana, you know, you didn't say yes or no, so you might lose a 2 for 2. So I ended up doing well, and it worked out for me. So I'll end it by saying so I had been there for like 4 months. So I told Coach for spring break, I said, I'm gonna go home to Louisiana and see my family. He's like, yeah, you can go home, but you won't be on the team when you get back. I was like, what you mean? He's like, man, people coming here trying out every day. He said, and as soon as somebody walk in here that's better than you, I'm always gonna go with the best player, man. So that's kind of how I learned my toughness and my grit, because every day I was fighting for my spot on the team. So then June came. He was like, all right, Country, man, you can go on back home, man. You good. So yeah, man, it was an unbelievable experience, man. And Compton College was great to me, man. I still got a lot of love for a lot of people who worked there. Miss Henry, Miss Lenore, Miss Vanessa, Dean Bozeman, Boyce Bozeman, man. You know, those guys, man, they understood that I was a youngster from Louisiana, and they took me in, man. You know, before me and Bolo took me in, man, I slept on everybody's couch, man. You know, then Bolo took me to the neighborhood. I slept on everybody's couch in the neighborhood, you know. It's like, you know, but everybody, that's little country, man. You know, we're gonna take care of them, and you know, it's like you say, persevere, man. You know, people see me, man. Shout out to my boy Bob, man. Bob, his name Umar. I don't know if you know Bob, if you see him, man.
Yeah, Umar been on the show a few times.
A shout out to my man, man. This was crazy. He saw me in Walmart one day. He was like, man, you still out here? He said, man, I remember when you first came out here, man. You so country, man. We didn't even understand what you saying. He said, man, now look at you, man. He said, man, you coach it,
man. He stay around the corner from where I used to live. My mom's house.
You used to live on School Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live on School, man. I've been around the block, as they say in Compton, man. But I mean, that feel good to me when a brother like that, he know my story, man. Because I was a lot of it's haters, it's envy. If ain't nobody hating on you, then you ain't doing nothing, man. So for years, people have said, "Oh, he ain't really from Compton, and he ain't this." I'm like, man, look, I'm 54 years old. I moved to Compton when I was 20, man. So I've been in
You've
Compton
been in
34 years.
Compton longer than you
Yeah.
was in Louisiana. Yeah.
Bolo always get mad, like, man, they don't know little bro. I'm like, man, look, again, if you ain't doing nothing, man, then ain't nobody hating on you. So, the real people know what it is on me, man. I'm a Compton cat. That's where they gonna lay me down somewhere in Compton. That's where I'm gonna be in, for sure.
Now, I wanted to go back to something, man, when you was talking about Poly in Long Beach. You know how people, you know, have this stereotype about Compton. I was a senior in high school, and I went over to Poly High School for a track meet. And man, they say, man, people in Compton crazy.
Yeah, I get that one a lot.
Man, look, I went to Long Beach Poly, and we walk into the field, the track field from the bus. And this dude came out of nowhere. I hate MF in Compton, and then spit.
What?
I was like, man, I grew up in Compton my whole life, up until that point. I ain't never
Yeah,
seen nobody spit at us, at me or anybody.
yeah,
I'm like, man, I said, this place gotta be crazy. So them stereotypes is just what it is, a darn stereotype. But I
yeah,
just wanted to add that because I was like, man, these fools gotta be crazy doing that. But
yeah, yeah,
it's just life in the inner city, man. Life in the inner city.
yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
that. Like you say, life in the inner city, man. I had a lot of different experiences in Compton, man. Sometimes, just like any other place, man, the streets in Compton can get real, man. And it's like I said, it's not what you know, it's who you know, man. Everybody got their certain sections that they grew up in and that they're comfortable in, and that's just their way of living, that's their being. And sometimes things get crossed up, man.
Yeah, well, with the community education, man, we're about self and collective improvement. So you may be one way today, and if you want to improve, you can improve on that.
Without
So,
it. The best example I always tell people I give is myself. I can't tell you what the next man done or what you plan on doing. I can only tell you my experiences, man. And it's been awesome to me, man. I mean, I've known, like, personally, like, the mayors of Compton. The good ones and who they say are the bad ones. And I don't think it was no bad ones. They just were in bad situations, I would say. From the politics of Compton and from the politics in City Hall to the politics in the streets.
yeah,
I've been a part of all of it throughout the years, man.
yes, it's a trip that you've been there since '90. I left Compton when I was 18. I came back. I stayed a few years, back and forth a little bit before I started teaching. And I started teaching around 30. I think I was 31 when I started teaching.
Okay.
And and that was 30 years ago, about
Yeah.
30 years ago. And I've been gone from Compton since then. I mean, I always go there and I work there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but as far as living, I've been living around Compton. So it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yes,
Just
it is.
life.
Lots of
And
it.
so yeah, man, you got a taste of Compton, and Compton helped you out in your life, which is a
Man, let me tell you
beautiful
something, man.
thing.
If
It's a
you can be,
beautiful thing.
without a doubt, you can get chewed
Yeah.
up and spit out if you're not righteous, man. So, and that's real. I also wanted to say, thank you to my man Leonard Speed, man, Perry, man, Booger,
Oh, Perry.
old Booger,
Yeah.
man, and his brother, big bro Lamont, man, brother-in-law, man. They those brothers, man. Me and Speed were teammates at Compton. So J-Bo brought me here, and then Speedo was like, he was like big bro to me, man. He's country. He used to always say nickel. Because the way I said it, I would just say nickel, and the whole team would fall out laughing, right? And they would say party. I would say party, and everybody would die. Like, listen to this country. They would just. It was like I was their running joke, man. So that's how I got right, man. I ended up meeting my ex-wife through him, man. We were teammates. Like I said, I met my ex-wife at a going away party, man. He had got a scholarship to Boise State. And I brought that up to say, it's like our lives like went in reverse. He was born in Compton all his life. We played 1 year of basketball together. He get a scholarship to Boise State. He ain't been back since. He been in Boise since. I moved to California. I get on the team with him. I've been in Compton ever since. So it's like we always talk about that, how we got similar stories going in similar directions, and it's like that's what made me feel good. A lot of my old teammates, man, and even guys on the football team, they be like, man, you still out there, Chris, man. We proud of you, man. You out there messing with them kids, man. You dedicated to it, and we see your success, and wish you nothing but the best. But they know that little boy that moved out here. They know country, as they say, man. So it's just so many people, man. I would like to just give shouts out to, man, that was so good to me in Compton, man. It's just I know a few names I didn't mention, but nothing but love for him, man. Nothing but love for I currently one of my assistant coaches at Jordan, man. My man Jamal Huff, man. He a good brother. He's he like a little bro to me. Actually, you coached him in high school. I want to say.
Well, I actually coached Mike.
Okay. Rest in peace,
I
Mike.
think I was the JV coach, and he was on varsity. I coached his cousin Mike.
Yeah,
God
man.
rest his soul.
Yeah, rest in peace to Mike, man. Mike Huff, good brother.
And so I was right there with him for his senior year.
Yeah.
And he did good. Jamal did real well. Matter of fact, it was him and this other cat. They were the guys.
Yeah, and I take pride in that roster, man. Like I'm under the Ernie Carr coaching tree, man. Ernie Carr is a legendary coach, man. No doubt about it.
Ernie, I won a championship with Ernie.
Well, I tried, man. I didn't get it done, man.
Well, I'm saying it was he was coaching this summer league team. It was the Olympic Development League. It was at Long Beach State.
Okay.
And that's wild, man. I was at Washington State at the time, and I said, man, I was kind of laughing on Long Beach State, and I wound up transferring there. And then our team was actually just as good as or better than Washington State. So, you think people be thinking that these schools is all of that. I wanted to play Pac-10. I went there, man, and I, had my experience wasn't too great, so I came back.
Yeah.
And wound up going to Long Beach State. But what was my thought, man? God dog it. But Ernie Carr, Olympic Development League, man.
Yeah, man. And
we won the last second game.
Okay.
In that league, and Ernie was a good coach, man.
Yeah,
his record tells it.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's actually in my phone, man. His name is California Pops, man. That's my California Pops, man.
Now, is he still coaching? Because I know
he coaches at Gardena High School, man. Every chance I get, man, I try to beat his head in, man. He know it too. He be like, Chris, man, you still mad at me because of practice? Man, I got so many Ernie Carr stories at Compton College, man. It's crazy, man. But I just wanted to say that, he has a strong coaching tree, man, and he had a couple of other legendary coaches that he coached, they had went on to have success. Your boy Rod, the other guy Otis. They had
Russell
a lot.
Otis,
Russell Otis. They had a lot of success, and they all played for Coach Carr as well as I did. Now I didn't get, and I don't cry over spilled milk. I didn't get the support that those gentlemen got in their coaching career. I went and started my coaching career on my own. They started off in Compton, and I started off in LA at King Drew, LAUSD, and then once I won some championships, started having some success. Everybody, you need to come on home back to Compton. I'm like, I came home to Compton, and let's just say the Compton experience is one I'll never forget when it comes to coaching and working on the unified. And but
I remember
exactly. So, but I just say, I eventually started my own coaching tree, man, and I'm proud of the young men who who played for me. Now they're coaches, man. One of my former coaches, Charles Smith, man. It's like a little bro to me. He started his coaching career under me. We had a hell of a ride together, he moved on to greener pastures. I coached a gentleman by the name of Lamel Dura. He was my first senior, and he ended up coaching at King Drew after me. And now he has his own restaurant. He's Compton Vegan. So, that's a guy that was under my umbrella. Also have a gentleman by the name of Jason Hicks. He played for me at King Drew, and he won CI championships at Southeast High School. And then lastly, but not least, my man here, Alan Mitchell, man. He played for me at King Drew. His nickname at King Drew was Boucher, man. He's the water boy, man.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher, man. I love telling him. He actually just won a CIF championship at St. Anthony's High School. He's currently coaching there now. And I love telling his story because first thing first, everybody in LA was trying to get him to go play football. He was like a star, what do they call it, Pop Warner football quarterback. He's the younger relative of Hassan Adams, and everybody in LA was trying to get him to go to their school, and he ended up coming to King Drew because his parents, they were on the academic standard at King Drew. So his freshman year, he played frost off, and we made it to the championship his freshman year. And they was like, Coach, let us get in the game. So I'm like, all right, come on, man. You just, you be the water boy. You can just come in with the team. And his sophomore year, the boy grew like 2 or 3 inches. He was my starting center, and we played Westchester when they were #1 in the nation. And they had Gabe Pruitt, Amir Johnson. They were loaded, right? And he jumped center, man. And I was like, look at you, man. You don't went from the water boy to jumping center, #1 team in the nation, man.
Bobby Boucher.
Boucher was a dog. He was a dog, man. And even back then, hindsight 2020, looking back then, you could see that he was going to be a coach because he thought he was my coach, even when he was in high school. So, man, that's just a story I love telling and about my coaching tree. And, I'm just excited about being able to help others, man. Like I got Huff with me now. I just hired another young man that, well. He actually played basketball for me. I actually won a CI championship with his uncle in 2004. And then I won a championship with him in 2023. His name is Jerome Wilson. Donald Fleming is his grandfather.
Oh.
So we
just played Donald and them, man. They beat us.
Oh, that's who beat on you? Yeah, I just hired Jerome as one of my new coaches, man. And, just able to give people, an opportunity to chase their dreams and, go after they, or maybe a profession. I never thought I would be a coach for 25 years. It all started off over a 12-pack of beer, man. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, man. And
man,
it's been, it's like, the Most High, man. The man upstairs, he got a plan for you, man. You just got to follow it. And I just feel like, man, like I tell people, I just did an interview earlier today with this young man on this fitness channel. He was like, man, you 54 years old. I'm like, yeah. He said, man, you look like you're 30. I said, it's a blessing. I'm blessed to be that way, but it's all in your upbringing. Coming up in Louisiana, I walk miles to school. And who knows? That was preparing me to be the way I am today. And I told them this. I said, man, my parents' upbringing, and my love for the game of basketball is the reason why I look the way I look for my age. I always tell the kids, you ask your parents, do they want somebody to love them or do they want somebody to be in love with them? Because it's a difference. And I just feel like I'm still in love with the game of basketball. And, I still get out there and practice with the kids from time to time. I still can get above the rim. I still can throw it down, get you a dunk. Not like I used to, but, I got to get it good.
That's excellent. If you still dunking at 54, that's excellent.
Well, the oldest person in the crew, So like I was saying, man, it's like I just feel like I'm blessed to be 54 years old and still be able to get up and down the court, still be healthy. My man D-Train, man, Danny Frazier, Arthur Frazier, he last dunked at 54 years old. So I'll be 55 in October. That's when I decided I'm just gonna be my last one to jump up and down on, man. I want to be the oldest cat in Compton to dunk, man. So October 15th, I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna give me a dunk in, and that's it. I'm laying it up. Everything gonna be below the rim after that.
Now, the last time I dunked, it was I was 39. I was messing with the kids, coaching, and I said, let me see if I could do this, because I started slowing up then.
Yeah.
And I got up there and did it. I was like, oh, I still could do this. But I stopped playing ball at 42. And that's what I was gonna say. To keep you going is you have to keep going.
Yeah, no doubt.
I stopped twice and now I'm playing granddaddy basketball, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, man.
It's okay. I'm gonna still come at people, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
No doubt, man. I'm grandpa too, man. I got my grandson, man, Bayman Francis, man. Shout out to Bayman, man. Love him to death, man. He's 9 years old. He love the game, man.
Oh, you talking about the cat I saw in the gym?
Yeah, that's Bayman.
Yeah, I told him. I said, man, keep some grades straight. That's gonna help your game. That's my motive. That's how I try to motivate kids to to do well in school, because if I had any sense back then, I would have been using my ability to be a good student, because I could have been a good student. I didn't become a good student until I was finished with basketball.
Same here, man. Like I said, I didn't go to college to get no degree, Ross, man. I was going to the league. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to the league, man, when I was 20, 22 years old, man. And
man,
like I tell the kids, man, in life, it's two things that show up in a basketball game that show up in life. And that's momentum. There's a man named Momentum, and there's a man named Reality. And they always show up, man. So
well,
man, definitely.
I'll tell you what, if I would have had the right mentality, I could say that. Yeah. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty good. I did my thing, but you have to have first of all, you got to be lucky.
Yeah, without a doubt.
My senior year at Long Beach State, I was going up for a layup, and we were going to the NIT. This is when my game was elevating. Right at the end of the season, I was elevating. I was doing some things. And man, in practice before the NIT, going up for a layup, teammate ran into my leg. I had a sprained knee, and we was playing against Stanford, my last college game.
Wow.
And if I'd have been 100, we would have went deep in the NIT. Yeah. I wasn't 100. I was limping out there. He let me play because it was my senior year.
Yeah, same thing I would have done. Let you go out on your own terms, man.
And I mean, we were right there in the game against Stanford. We was right there. We was going neck and neck with them. But it's all good, man. I still play basketball.
Yeah, right. Hey, man, that's what I tell. I mean, shout out to my kids, man. I love all my children, man. I have a 35-year-old daughter named Morgan. She lives in Houston, Texas. And I have a granddaughter, Mariah, that lives out there. I have my oldest son. That was her joke for a long time because I didn't have no sons. My daughter Tia, that's my grandson UCR. You know Tia, that's her son, Bayman. And I have my son Deuce, man. You know my boy Deuce, man.
Deuce, I ain't seen Deuce in a while. I was over there at the house when Perry came. Yeah, I was gonna tell you about Perry.
Yeah.
He grew up down the street from me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
When I was I probably was in junior high school.
Uh-huh.
And I used to, I'd be out there in the front, and here come Perry. He's 5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Here come Perry, running, messing with me. I said, boy, you little boy, you better get away from me.
Booger, man.
He used to be a little gnat.
Yeah, that's Booger, man. Also, man, I also want to say my baby girl, Monty, man. That's my baby girl, baby daughter. She's actually expecting, man. So she's due in September. Her mom passed away a couple of years ago. And actually her due date is around the time of her mother's birthday. So September the 5th. So I'm actually thinking that's the day she gonna have it, man. I feel like
another grandchild?
Yeah, that'll be my 5th grandchild, man.
Oh, so, you beating me.
Stack them up, man. Shout out to my baby girl, Amani, man. Love you, Money.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. So just Ross, man, it's just it's such a beautiful thing, man. I was happy to when we talked about being on here, man. I seen a few episodes and I felt like, yeah, that's something I definitely would like to do, man. I love the community education network, man. It's a positive message, man, and that's what it's about, man. To me, it's about positivity, man. Life is full of trials and tribulations, man. But it's what you make of it, man. Like they say, the cards you have them, man. You got to play them accordingly. And I just feel like, I feel like Compton is a city where you can be successful. I mean, look at me, man. So I always tell people, man, it can be done. It's not nothing that can't be done in Compton if you don't really want to do it. If you apply yourself and you really want to do it, it can be done, man. Because I'm a cat that definitely have done it, and I'm gonna continue to do it without a doubt.
Hey, man, it's so hard to be a tar babe.
Yeah, it's so hard to be a
Nah,
tar.
man, we just like I said, man, just like any other place, you're gonna have your positivity, and then you're gonna have your negativity. That's part of that balance thing. But you want to always shoot to be better than what you are, and you definitely been doing that in your life. So I commend you for that. Appreciate you coming on, sharing your experiences with us.
Definitely.
And this is what we want to do. We want to expose. We want to dispel the lies and expose the truth.
Exactly.
And it was motivated by a close companion of mine. So I'm glad we're doing this, and we have other components to this podcasting under the Community Education Network. So
definitely.
yeah. So what you want to leave us with, brother, before we check on out?
I just want to leave people with this, man. Again, it's a cliche, man, but it's like they say, man. Whatever you put into anything in life is what you're gonna get out of it. I've been fortunate enough to, the game of basketball, the city of Compton, man. I was fortunate enough to see the world, man. A lot of people can't say they lived in 4 different countries, man, and were paid to live there. Paid to do something that you love to do. That's a blessing. And in my Compton roots and my Compton upbringing played a part in that, because it taught me mental toughness, taught me about being aware, it taught me about being disciplined, and it gave me my structure, man. So that's my thing, man. Anything you put in your life, you can get out of it, man. And I'm actually, as a head coach, I am 2 wins away from my 300 career win. So on November 20th of this year, I'm going to be playing one of my games. It'll be Long Beach Jordan versus LA Jordan at Compton College. So it's going to be a big game. Be great if everybody can come out. Ironically, my brother is a assistant coach at LA Jordan. So it's going to be a family affair, man. And I'm gonna just keep being Compton, man, and just keep living life, man.
Keep it Compton.
Keep it Compton, baby. Hub City, baby.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you, man, in your experiences and continued success, man, and keep the ball going, man. Because I'm planning on being out there until I can't be out there. That's for sure.
Man, if I can't run no more, I'm gonna get in the wheelchair league, man. I'm gonna be out there, man. I'm gonna keep this left hand rocking, baby.
Hey, man, at you, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Keep up the great work. And we got plenty of podcasting going on, so you let me know when you want to come back and do some more stuff. We got different components.
That's right. Yeah, maybe we can come back on after a Compton High Long Beach Jordan game. Talk about that.
Hey, man, look, it's all good. We got a sports series going too.
Okay, that'd be great, man.
Sports talk with Ronnie Roberts.
Okay.
Second take sports talk with Ronnie Roberts.
Okay.
So, we doing a darn thing. We may not be popular, but we doing a darn thing. That's for sure.
It'll grow, man. Like you watered, it'll grow, man. Shout out to Compton High.
It's all good, man. We want it to grow for the right reasons, We want it to grow for the right reasons, so we can continue to help people, man, and educate, life education, man. Just education. But I appreciate you, brother. We're gonna sign on off, man. We're gonna take our pause. All right, brother.
All right, you have a good one, bro.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.